And we will be looking at the election predictions by the economist based on their models. We do this every 2 weeks up to election day, just to keep you guys informed on it, and state what their algorithms believe will happen. So it's giving right now an 89% chance to win the election for Joe Biden. Remember, we look at this number, the chance of winning the Electoral College. We don't care about the chance of winning the popular vote because in the United States, it's not a popularity contest, which I have strong opinions about that I don't like this. Check out one of my videos why. But here I will just state that Joe Biden has a much greater chance to beat Donald Trump right now than ever. And the reasons for that have to do with how the COVID-19 pandemic has just continuously gotten worse in the United States. I mean, yesterday the U.S. has reported 40,000 cases for the second day in a row. The 2 days with the most amount of cases in United States history. And that just adds things with the Black Lives Matter movement with George Floyd going on. And now this new, somewhat developing story that I wouldn't look too much into about Russian bounties, but I wouldn't look into it too much. So I will just be taking you through all of these competitive states and just looking at the amount of the chance that Donald Trump and Joe Biden have at winning each state. So let's start off with the state of Arizona. So right now, the models believe that it is unclear whether Joe Biden or Arizona will win the 11 electoral votes. So it's giving Joe Biden a 62% chance. That's a roughly 2 in 3 shot, and it's giving Trump a 1 in 3 chance. And let's look at how this has changed. Going back to beginning of March, before this whole thing with COVID-19 began, Trump was very likely, so not very likely, but he was likely to win Arizona. But since it has just shrunk, and you see that Biden is slowly starting to widen that lead, and now it's a 62-39% chance. So that is 11 electoral votes up for grab, and a crucial 11 electoral votes, as it is considered one of the 6 swing states, the 6 toss-up states. Next state that we have is the state of Florida. It says here right now that Joe Biden is likely to beat Donald Trump in Florida. He has a 78% chance of winning that, and that is a little more than a 3 in 4 chance. And Trump has a 23% chance. You know, that adds up to 101%, but it's rough. It's estimated, so it will add up to 100%. So let's look at how things have changed. Going back to the beginning of March, how Trump was favored to win, and then how Biden took the lead, then Trump reclaimed it, and then Biden took it, and is slowly starting to widen the lead. Let's say Biden wins Florida, and Biden wins Arizona. That hands him the election, more likely than not, because if he's winning Florida and Arizona, I doubt states like New Hampshire or Nevada will then all of a sudden go and flip for Trump. So the next state is Georgia. Georgia is a state that we believe will be going to Donald Trump. However, things have just narrowed, and I believe that by the time 2024 rolls around, Georgia will be considered one of those traditional toss-up states. So they have unclear whether Trump or Biden will win. So they say that Trump has a 52% chance of winning Georgia compared to Biden's 48%. That is so close. That is basically even. And I would look at these, when looking at these predictions or what the model suggests, I like looking at these more than what the polls actually say, even though these are based off the polls, because this is based on like computer run algorithms and things similar. But I also believe that these models are underestimating the Trump campaign. So I would say roughly that it would give the president 5 to 7 more points than what the model actually says. So if it says here Trump has a 52% chance to win Georgia, I would really think of it in your head as like more like a 57-58% chance. But look at how things have just changed. March 1st, Trump had a 77% chance. Then all of a sudden on the 4th, it jumped up to 90, and things have just closed down, and all of a sudden, it's the tightest right now, today, on this very day, than it has ever been. And these predictions, they get updated every 24 hours, so at the end of today, you will then see the 29th, what it will say for the 29th. What this says by June 28th, even though today is currently the 29th, I believe, it is saying that because they have to wait till the end of the 29th to release the rankings after the 29th. So if Joe Biden were to flip either Georgia or Iowa, then I would say it's game over for the Trump campaign, because if he's flipping Georgia, he's most likely taking Florida with it. If he's flipping Iowa, then he's most likely taking the Rust Belt as well. So the next day is Iowa with its 6 electoral votes. It says here Donald Trump is likely to beat Joe Biden here, a 66% chance. That's a little more than a 2 and 3. Sorry, that's slightly less than a 2 and 3 chance. 2 and 3 chance would be roughly 67, but it's basically a 2/3 chance compared to Joe Biden's 34% chance, rounded. And here, but you see the similar trend of Trump having a much larger lead, and it just continuously to be shrinking. I don't believe a state like Iowa will flip to the Biden campaign, even though Joe Biden and Barack Obama did win Iowa 2 times in 2008 and 2012 during when Obama was running for election. Next is the state of Michigan. Some people are characterizing Michigan as not even a swing state anymore, as one that is likely to go to the Biden campaign. And they say that Joe Biden is very likely to beat Trump in Michigan, an 88% chance compared to Trump's 12% chance. And you look at the polls, and a lot of the polls, even the A-plus polls by 538, are showing that Biden has a massive lead. And look at how things have just widened. Trump was ahead of it in the forecast on March 11th, but things have just widened. It's continuously getting slowly wider and wider. So those 16 electoral votes are so crucial. Next day is the state of Nevada. It believes that Joe Biden is very likely to beat Trump in Nevada with also an 88% chance. Nevada is one I never expected to go to the Trump campaign, but it is considered a competitive state, as we cannot say with certainty that it will go towards Joe Biden. But you see the similar trend of it being somewhat close and things just widening in favor of Joe Biden. So next state, New Hampshire. New Hampshire is very similar with Nevada. I don't expect it to flip, although it does have a competitive feel to it every year. It's giving Biden an 84% chance to Trump's 16, and it once again will show you the similar trend of Biden just taking the lead and widening it. Even back here then, when Trump was ahead on beginning of March, going into end of March, I never actually believed Donald Trump would win this. This is the one that I believe was unfairly favoring Trump. I believe most of the predictions unfairly favor Biden, but this is one that I never believed would go to the Trump campaign, and believed that Joe Biden would walk away with the 4 electoral votes. Next day is the state of North Carolina. North Carolina is a swing state this year. Obama won it in 2008 before losing it to Romney in 2012. Of course, Biden was on a ticket both times, and then Trump won it in 2016. So it's giving Joe Biden roughly a 59% chance to win North Carolina, and it's giving Trump a 41% chance. And you see here just how Trump was very likely to win it back in March, and how things have just shrunk for him, Biden taking the lead. And North Carolina is relatively stable. Before, I characterized North Carolina as a state that leans Trump, but now I am reconsidering it and believe that it is more of a state that is tilting in the favor of Joe Biden. I believe the 59% chance is a bit high. I would say more it's like a 52% chance Biden will win this, but just know North Carolina is a state that is so crucial to both campaigns. Because if Biden is taking North Carolina, then very likely he is taking Florida as well, and that would win him the election then. Assuming that a state like Nevada or New Hampshire, for some reason, they wouldn't flip. Assuming that if Nevada or New Hampshire were to magically flip, then the chance that he would win North Carolina anyway is basically none. Now we go into the state of Ohio. Right now it's unclear whether Donald Trump or Joe Biden will win the state of Ohio. And they say that Trump has roughly a 54% chance to Biden's 47% chance. Remember, this is rounded. But you see the similar trend of how things have just shrunk. Ohio has predicted the election winner the last 6 decades, meaning that whatever candidate won Ohio won the election for the last 6 decades of elections. But here, it's a state that is no longer a swing state, a state that is more to the right. So I could see definitely Trump winning this and Biden winning the election. But if Biden were to flip Ohio, game over. He wins the election, and it's 18 electoral votes. The next state is Pennsylvania. It's heavily favoring Biden with an 82% chance. That's very high for a swing state. And you just going through the similar trend of how it was super tight early March and how things have just widened dramatically here, giving Biden an 82% chance, up with its highest pretty much that it's been since it's been keeping track. The next state here is Texas. Texas, I believe, will be going to Trump by a pretty decent margin, 4 to 5 points. You see right here, 76% chance. I'm not going to talk too much about this state because people are going to read up into it too much, and I don't believe that Joe Biden has any chance in Texas. You see, it sort of shrunk, and then it's pretty much just remained relatively stable. So before we go into the next state, the final state, guys, if you like this content, subscribe to be able to stay up to date on it, anything, and comment what you guys think, guys. Do you think that Joe Biden will win the election or Donald Trump will win the election? I want to hear what you guys think, if these forecasts, if these models are accurate or not, because some people say they're very accurate, some people say they're not the most accurate. And also comment any video ideas you want to see in the future. So, final state, Wisconsin. It believes that Joe Biden has an 84% chance to win the state of Wisconsin. Wisconsin was the one state that Democrats believed that they did not really have a chance at flipping, even though it was considered a swing state. But things have just changed. I mean, look at this going into the end of March. Trump was ahead in these forecasts. But things have just changed, and Biden has taken such a wide lead here. Wisconsin was the state I didn't really think Joe Biden had a chance at flipping, but it's looking like now he does. So these are all the states, and the election believes from the economist believe that Joe Biden has a very good chance at winning the election. So guys, what do you think of this? Thank you for watching this. Comment anything below. Comment what you guys think, and thank you.